We can find x-intercepts and y-intercepts for rational functions the same way we find them for other functions, by setting the function equal to 0 for x-intercepts and substituting 0 for x for y-intercepts. If 0 is not in the domain of the function, then the function will not have an x-intercept. So example 4a, f of x equals x squared plus x minus 6 over x minus 3. Let's start with the y-intercept. So y-intercept, you always put in 0 for x, 0 squared plus 0 minus 6 over 0 minus 3. So this is negative 6 over negative 3, which is 2. So y equals 2 is the y-intercept. Sometimes we'll write that as an ordered pair, and that would be 0, comma 2. The x-intercept, or possibly x-intercepts, we always find these by letting f of x equal 0 and setting our function equal to 0. Okay, how you solve this is you can cross multiply the x minus 6. And if you do that, 0 times x minus 6 is still 0. So anytime you're finding the x-intercepts of a rational function, only the numerator will be important because the denominator will always cross multiply away. So solving this is a quadratic equation. You can use the quadratic formula, or often these will factor. This one does factor. It's our simple factoring, since there's nothing in front of x squared. Factors of 6, 1 and 6, and 2 and 3, and it's negative. So 3 minus 2 would subtract to 0 in the middle. Okay, so that is negative 3 and positive 2. So x-intercepts, negative 3 and 2, and we will sometimes write that as an ordered pair, and that would be negative 3, comma 0. And 2, comma 0. Example 4b, our function is f of x equals 3x minus 2 over 3x squared minus 5x. Okay, so y-intercept, if I put 0 in for x, 3 times 0 minus 2 over 0 minus 0, and we have negative 2 over 0. And we can't divide by 0, okay, so 0 is not in the domain of this function, and so we would conclude that there is no y-intercept. X-intercept, 0 equals 3x minus 2. Remember, the denominator would cross multiply away, so we only need to worry about the numerator. Add 2, and then divide by 3. So x equals 2/3, or 2/3, comma 0. The graphs of rational functions can be obtained from the information we find about asymptotes and intercepts, along with our graphing calculators. Okay, you also may have questions asking you about symmetry, and remember, symmetry you can visually see when you graph on your calculator.